If you've experienced some type of loss, sudden loss, all right, painful exits, some type of traumatic, hurtful experience from this, all right, this is for you. See you today. Come on, grab this here seat. Listen as I share. Today's guest, all right, on Clarion Call, this next episode is the Naishanda Larramore. Again, thanks for joining me. Sit tight, listen as she shares. We're talking about losses of loved ones, sudden losses, disappointments. How do we get back up from that sunken place, from that hurtful place, and how do we transition? Today we've got Naishanda Larramore. She's sharing her journey with losses, hurts, disappointments, and she's using those gifts and talents for birthing the assignment over her life. She's a high school teacher and founder of Save 1,000 Lives. Tell us more about your journey with loss.
My loss began in 2018, April 2018, where my husband passed away one day after his birthday. So his birthday was April 24th, and he passed away April 25th. And so that is where all of this began because, ironically, January 1st is coming, and that was our wedding anniversary. So right now, the feelings are all everywhere right now. Know what to do. I believe everybody needs a toolbox, right? So whatever is in your toolbox to be able to help you navigate through this thing called grief, you got to be able to have it. So just in regular toolboxes, you have the hammer, you have the saw, you have the screwdriver, whatever those tools are for you to fix whatever it is, you got to do the same thing for your mind. So mine is therapy. I know I need Jesus, and I need a good therapist. And so I fully believe that therapy is the way to go. So
before you move on, Naishanda, I'm sorry. I'm just going to interrupt you before you get started. So we want to hear a little, briefly, about that loss. Walk me and the viewers into what happened on that day.
Oh, wow. Well, it actually started the 20th of April. So it was a long week. He went in to have a test done, run a test, but he coded 3 times on the 20th. So that was the last time I literally saw his eyes, and he said, "Baby, you're beautiful." And I'm like, okay, but I was telling him, stop fussing, you're fussing. My parents and I went out to eat, and then I thought they were going to take him later for, I want to say it was a MRI or a CT scan. It was one of them that they had to go do to see what was going on with him. So I got phone calls at work like, hey, get over here, from the doctors to the household technicians, okay? Everybody was calling me. Are you coming? Undoubtedly, they know I would be right there. Ironically, my parents came in town, and I said, hey, y'all come to the hospital with me because I don't know what's going on. I got to move him. They're moving him to ICU. And so during that time, we said, okay, we're going to go get something to eat. I came back, and he had coded 3 times.
My goodness.
And they were bringing him in, and I was like, oh, wait, what are y'all saying? So then we found out, that there was a lot going on during that time with brain activity. And so just a lot of things, organs beginning to shut down. So a lot of things were going on then, and I'm frantic, and I'm begging God, like, please don't take my husband, God. Please don't take my husband. And so we waited all those days from the 20th until the 25th when they said, okay, this is not getting good. I recorded myself talking to my husband because we had done this before when he had gotten an LVAD. And I said, listen, you did it before. I need you to come back. And every once in a while, I go back and I look at those videos of me talking to him.
Okay.
And he did not come out. I also had a dream about him while I was in the hospital waiting. And I'm walking down the hall in the dream. I'm walking down the hall in the hospital. And boom, he's sitting there. And he's smiling at me. And I'm like, what are you doing? Let's go. Let's run it back. Let's defeat this again. We did it before. We're going to do it again. And he smiled at me and he shook his head. And it didn't dawn on me that I'm not coming back. So we had to push through that.
All right. Tell us. I'm going to stop you again. I'm sorry. Now tell us. Now at that moment, how was it? Give me more about your experience. All right, because we're talking about loss. Is this a sudden loss? I heard you mention LVAD. Is that it? Okay,
Yes.
so what is that? Share briefly with us. What is that? And was this a sudden thing that happened to him? All right, you say he coded 3 times. Was this something that was out of the blue? Was he already ill or sick? And if so, if you don't mind sharing, from what?
All right. So my husband, which is why I created Save 1,000 Lives in honor of him, needed a heart and a kidney.
Okay.
And he spent October 31st until April 25th when he left the hospital at the hospital. So we spent several months in the hospital. So he was really sick. He received an LVAD in 2016, and that is, the LVAD stands for Left Ventricular Assistance Device.
Okay.
That is what that is, because the left side of his heart was very weak. And when he got into single digits, well, technically your heart should, your EF should be about 70%.
Okay, now what is that? Tell us briefly what that is.
That's called an ejection fraction, how strong your heart is. And so his was declining rapidly. So the LVAD gave him the opportunity to rest his heart. And it was supposed to hopefully give his heart a little rest and then perhaps gain momentum or strength again. And unfortunately, that didn't happen. So was it sudden? Absolutely. And I was so nervous. I was scared. I was petrified, because I'm like, I can't believe that this happened. We just got married January 1st, 2017. So
you're still in the newlywed phase?
Very, 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 very newlyweds. We renewed our vows every year, January 1st. So, no, we renewed them every month because we didn't know how much time we had together. So that was our special thing. Every first of the month, we say, baby, we made it. And it's hard not to do that now, you know? So I pulled my strength through that. And for it to be one of the most traumatizing experiences in my life. I've experienced loss of a son, but to now lose a husband, it was like, oh my God, what are you doing to me?
So that loss for your son, was that a sudden event as well?
Yes.
Oh,
everything's been sudden. Everything's been sudden. I tell you, I've been in a fight with Mike Tyson. That is what it felt like. Like life was just beating me down and beating me up. But what I do know is that once you go into that place, that is not a place where you want to stay. Yes. You know, that was not my place of being. Oh, I didn't like that grief sitting on my chest.
Yes.
I don't know who does. I don't know who likes to just sit there and wallow in it, but you can't. You cannot. You know, we get down, but you have to get up. Because what I did realize is that one thing that my husband would not have wanted because of his death was for it to kill me. Goodness. Because he's gone. I gotta continue to live because he's gone. So I fully believe that he would be so upset that his passing stopped me from living and breathing and doing the work that I'm supposed to do. So,
okay. All right.
Definitely with that.
Okay, so tell us more about this here work. I know you at the beginning you mentioned this toolbox, and this is something that you can share with the viewers about what can assist you from that grief and from staying in that place of grief into continuing to live and live life daily. I know it's a daily challenge and sometimes maybe minute by minute to keep moving forward. But quickly share with us about that, this toolbox that you mentioned. All right, because we can definitely learn from that.
Yes, the toolbox is essential because I went to therapy. And so now that I know, hey, I gotta go back in. Where do I go when I'm feeling anxiety? Where do I go? What do I pull up? So I pull up my prayers.
Okay, all right.
So I pull up the prayer. Her name is Dr. Cynthia Trim. And when I hear Dr. Cynthia Trim's, she has several prayers. And she has one prayer called the atomic. It's an atomic prayer. It is powerful. And it is about 58 minutes. And I know that's long for some people, but that's where I had to go.
Okay. Now, do you listen to this in the mornings? Is this something like a morning ritual or routine? I won't say ritual, a routine for you in the morning.
It is my ritual and routine.
Okay.
I don't get out of my bed without listening to my prayers.
Okay.
The prayer helps me get through the day. I'm a teacher. I need to pray.
Yes.
So more than three, but I'm a teacher. And I need some prayer because I'm going in with these high school kids and praise the Lord. Yes. I got to have prayers. So I go into that. If I need meditation, then I go ahead and I put on the meditation music or soundscape. So I put on something that's just like not going to make me cry. Because if I put on gospel music, oh Lord, we got a whole bucket of tears. But if I put on something then I could just kind of focus, then I'm like, calm. Do the breathing. Take deep breaths. Do all of these things. Journal if you need to. Write it out.
I'm a fan of that, definitely.
Write it out. Right, how you feeling? And now I'm a video person. I want to be able to go back in and say, hey, what did you do that day? I had to go back and look because I experienced another loss in April this year as well. I had to go back and look and say, what did I do to get past that? What did I, no, not past it. What did I do to get through it? Okay. How many days did it take? How many months did it take? Like, what do I do? So that's in my toolbox for me to be able to say, all right, this is what you did. You did this on day one. You did this on day two. I videoed myself.
So you reached back. This is what I hear you saying. You reached back into another experience. Like you say, you've experienced another hurt, another loss. And you learned. You learned from that one. And it sounds like you quickly tried to find out what you did. Like you tried to map out exactly how do I get through this? That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah. And it was a little different because with my husband, I kind of counted the months. All right, this month one, this month two. The recent loss, I counted every day. Because I didn't want to be the same on day one with day 50.
Yes.
So I wanted to be able to measure my level of increase or maturity or how am I growing or am I in that sunken place still? What did I do? And when day 100 came, I was like, ooh, I'm feeling better. Day 50, I was praying and praying. I said, Lord, take this off of me. Yes. I need it gone now.
And I believe it's very important to address it and not to let it fester. And like you said, not to just let it stay there and to dwell in it. So
it's not even about that place though. Like some people like to be there and it's not healthy. Yes. I have a good friend. He had a loss at the beginning of this year. And whenever that song comes on, I still have both my parents, but he lost his mother. And he hears that song, Boys to Me and Mother. I say, baby, turn the song off. Just turn it off.
Yeah.
You're not ready.
Yes.
You're not ready.
So we have a choice.
Right. You literally can turn it off, but also know that you need therapy. Okay. Don't just keep saying, because most churches are shut down. So you can't always say, oh, I'm going to go to the pastor. You need God and a good therapist. And therapy you can do just like we're doing right here. We talk it out. And you need it. It's okay, us as a people frown upon it, but I go.
Okay, I hear you. I definitely believe in therapy as well. I used to work in mental health. I definitely believe in therapy. So viewers, again, just like Naishanda said, do not just go ahead and reach out. All right, we want you to reach out to others, also professionals who are able to assist you, all right, and they can map out plans to help you along the way, all right. This is Naishanda's journey, all right. So tell us more about this journey. Tell us about this Save 1,000 Lives. So through the loss, the hurt, and the pain came 1,000 lives, save 1,000 lives. How did you birth this here assignment? Tell us more.
Well, this assignment came on Father's Day. So my husband passed away in April. I had Mother's Day and my birthday to live through. Oh my God, that was so torturous. Then I had Father's Day. And I was up 7 a.m. crying because I was like, oh my God, this is the first Father's Day without him. And I was on Netflix and A Question of Faith, the movie came on, A Question of Faith. And I was like, no, I ain't watching that. Nope, I know God. So, I'm a firm believer that God is not going to wait for you to heal in order to use you. And I had to learn that. Like, I ain't waiting for you to, what? Let's go. Like, we don't have time for this. You're going to heal. It's going to be okay. I just don't need you to sit there. I need you to move. And when I watched that movie, at the end of the movie, it had saved 1,000 lives. And I was looking at God like, is that what you want me to do? I've clearly seen it. And I was like, God, is that you? Like, is that you for real? Because I know what you sound like. Is that you? And so just to make sure I knew it was him, the song that Kim Fields Tootie from Facts of Life and Living Single, she was singing this song, Thank You, Lord, for All You've Done for Me. Now, anybody know me, know that that's my theme song. When I heard it, I said, okay, it's you.
That was your key there.
Right. It was you. Because when I was getting divorced from my first husband, I couldn't get out of bed without listening to that song.
Yes, so that also is traumatizing as well. Right, that's just like a loss.
Absolutely. But different kind of loss, but it's still a loss. So what I want to advise people to do is listen. I need need you to listen, open your ears, and make sure that you hear God's voice, because he is talking to you. And I'm going to tell you a little secret. If he wakes you up at 3, 4 in the morning, that's God.
Okay.
That's
All right.
God trying to talk to you, trying to tell you, because why? It's quiet. Your mind is quiet. So he's going to talk to you. You just got to make sure that you open your ears. I know you're tossing and turning, and it's because God is trying to talk to you. You got to open your ears and open your heart and listen. So because I was so obedient and did that, Say 1,000 Lies was birthed in June of 2018, 2 months after my husband passed away. And we've been moving and going ever since. 2022 is my time to reign.
I hear you. Well, I'm gonna stop you right now, and I just heard you say, "Listen," when he wakes you up at 2, 3. When you, because I hear people say it all the time. I couldn't sleep. I've been up since 2 o'clock this morning, and they go, or we. I'm not gonna say they. We. We go and search on social media. We may be listening, like you said, to a movie. But tell us, how do we hear? How do we listen? How do we tune in? All right, so that we can gather the thoughts of God, is what I say. Gather the thoughts of him and listen, all right, and just gain our momentum in that quiet, secret space.
First of all, it has to be a quiet. It has to be a quiet space. That quiet space, that quiet place. Where do you go? You know, wherever that place is for you. You know, the old people say we're going in the prayer room. We're going in the closet so that we can have that conversation. But in order for you to hear God, you got to be willing to hear. You got to be able to seek him and search for him within your heart and in your mind, and then the rest will follow. I do not claim to be an expert on this at all. I can only tell you what I have experienced. But once I put myself in the position, do you always have to get on your knees? No. But you just got to make sure that you open your heart, and he's always there. You just got to be mindful of what you're doing. Tune the world out, shut it down, and be intentional in trying to hear what God is telling you. That's what I did, because I was like, Lord, I'm trying to hear from you. I need to hear from you. You got to talk to me, because I don't know. So I asked him, I said, please show me a sign. Show me what you want me to do. Tell me what you want me to do. Show me where you want me to go. Who do you want me to see or seek? And he did. And God was like, you already know the people. Call them, email them, text them. This is what I want you to do.
And what is that? What is that assignment? What did he want you to do?
Oh, he wanted me to do so much. He wanted me to do so much. I wasn't ready for it. I was like, I don't know how to do that. How do I do a 501? How do I do all of this stuff? How do I do my YouTube channel? How do I do all of these things? And do you know the people came right in place?
It fell right in place.
Everything fell
mapped out.
If you seek him and you trust him, it will happen. But you gotta be willing to do it. When my husband died, every day I did the Bible, our daily word, our daily bread. I looked at I read a scripture in the Bible. Whatever they had in that daily bread, I did it. Like everything I needed to do, I tuned out everybody. I was like, this is my time. Before I get ready to go to work, I'm giving 7.33 hours to the school, and you telling me I can't give 15, 20 minutes to God before I go? So I changed everything. I no longer complain, because I used to tell God, look, now it's 5 in the morning, thing disrespectful, God. Now I get up, wait, it's time for me and God. So once you change your mindset and change your heart of, this is something that I want to do, I want to be in the presence of the Lord, everything falls in place.
Okay. Yes. So what I hear you say is be intentional. All right. Be diligent. All right. And to seek God. That quiet space. You say we have to tune all these things out. All right. In order to get to your daily life. That is before you even leave out of your home. All right. That's what I hear you saying.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Even if you're going to work and ain't nobody in the car with you, you better talk to God. Go ahead, talk to him. If you can't do it, you got those little children and they can't hear. But just get in your quiet place. My kids never knew when I was crying, because I would cry in the shower, you know. But I still have my gospel music. Find that song that is just going to soothe you. So again, you know, through a song, through movies, somebody talking to you, what? All right, God. All right, you're good. You know, that pastor can give you a word and you like, oh God, why is he on Larramore Street? And that's what I would do. You know, you don't have to be on Larramore Lane, Pastor. I'm right here. But he gives that word. He gives you that word. So again, tune that other noise out. Tune out the naysayers. And if you are grieving, I promise you, I will tell you this. Do not let people tell you when you should stop grieving. That's not their business. they in your business. Tell them to stop that. Allow yourself to grieve, but make sure that you hold yourself accountable for that time. I lost my son. He would have been 21 or 22. He'll be 22 next year. He would have been 22. And when July comes around, I know that I start acting a little different. Like, man, what's wrong with me? Okay, I know. I know what it is. I know when I start acting different at the end of December. Okay, come January. Why? Because those things are going to come up. You can recognize
those anniversaries. They come about. So when that happens, what do you do?
Toolbox.
Okay.
Go to the toolbox and pull it out because you need it. You need it. I even heard a pastor say, he had lost 3 people like back to back, like 2 weeks apart, and he said I had to go to therapy. He said because I can preach to your soul, but who's gonna help your mind? Who's gonna help heal your mind? And I don't know what people are afraid of. I don't want nobody to tell me. Yes, you do. Because you're gonna go listen to your friends. Nobody can tell you what you should do or experience if they've never been through it.
Never been through it. Yes. So viewers, listen, tune in, and take note, okay? So we're going to, as we wrap this up, Naishanda, now tell us more about this Save 1,000 Lives, all right? This is how we met. We were on the show, and I just so thank you for having me on the show and sharing my experience. And today we're listening to you. Like you said, you're always interviewing others, all right? Today is about you and your journey, all right? So briefly share with us more about how we can tune in to Save 1,000 Lives, what it is about, what it entails, and who are your guests. And share with us any last words you want to share. If you want to give, the link or how we can reach out to you, all of that. Let's go.
Absolutely. Well, Save 1,000 Lives is my nonprofit. And so we are in the community. When COVID lets up a little bit more, we're in the community. We're educating minorities about transplant. And the more people we get to understand and dispel those myths about why we should become an organ donor and also get them registered. So the 1,000 is for me to register 1,000 people to become organ donors, but going into the churches and going into the schools. And again, my podcast is on YouTube. It's called Transplant Talk with Naishanda. That was also birthed out of Save 1,000 Lives. So that's my other umbrella where I am interviewing people such as this lovely host today about their experience. We're having to wait for a transplant, not what it's like to receive that gift of life, and how life is after receiving a transplant. So I make sure I interview families. I love to talk to donor families so that we can still honor those family members that made it possible for someone else to receive the gift of life. And then if they are in need of a transplant, I love to have them on my show as well so that they can tell their story on what it's like. What is it like to wait for a liver? What is it like to, wait for a kidney? And how are you going to know what these people are going through if you've never heard their stories? So I believe I am the force behind the voices of people that are waiting to receive a transplant, and also just loving on those families who experienced the life loss like I did. And it's so very important to me to be able to just help as many people as I can, especially in the multicultural community, because, we are the ones that need it,
Yes.
Americans, but African Americans and Asians, more of the ethnic groups, they all don't necessarily believe. And the United States is probably the one country that just doesn't make it mandatory for everybody to become an organ donor.
Yes.
So we need to make sure that we get it out there. Nobody is coming to take your organs right now. We're just hoping that when you go renew your driver's license or receive a driver's license, just click that little box and say, yes, I will become an organ donor. And you can catch my show on Thursday, starting January 6th. I want to say 6th. 6 at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And my next guest, oh my God, you got to tune in. I'm not even going to give you a little preview of what's going on. But when I tell you it is amazing, I do not discriminate against my guests. Everybody is welcome to be able to tell their story, because in the end, sickness and disease never discriminate like we do.
Yes.
Never.
That is a part of life. Yes.
So I fully believe that organ donation does not only save lives, An organ donation changes lives. So once you become an organ donor, that changed that person's life. If you don't know what it feels like to go 3 days a week to dialysis and change your whole life, or you might be tired of medicine that you got to take, all of these different things, how it affects your family, how it affects marriages, man, like it's so much that's going on. So you should be thankful and grateful that you're not experiencing it. But if you can't help save a life, then become an organ donor. And you can go to Save 1,000 Lives. That's squarespace.com. And you can register there or registerme.org. And put, we just trying to get more people, such as our host, who is a recipient. Her, she has that beautiful smile.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, I'm 7 years out from my kidney transplant back in 2014 from a deceased donor. And I thank him each and every day, along with our Father God, who has helped us in our journey. All right. So again, thanks, Naishanda. Is there any other lasting words you want to say, any statements, any mantras that you want to give to our viewers here before we wrap up?
I think I might have said everything, but in 2020, I want you to do self-care.
Okay.
You. Go get your nails done, get your toes done, get your hair done, go for a walk, find something that you can just make it yours. While I'm all about teaching, I make sure I gotta go for a walk. I gotta go for a walk, and I go walk a mile. I do something. Do self-care. Find yourself a good therapist, because we need therapists like we need our primary care physician. So I believe those are the things that you do. And don't forget, go become an organ donor, registerme.org. Tune in to Transplant Talk with Naishanda and help save a life.
All right. All right. Well, there you have it, my viewers. Thanks for joining us again. Thanks, Naishanda Larramore. All right. Tune in on each and every Thursday starting on January 6th. All right. And that is on Facebook and also on YouTube. All right. I'm T.Y. Walker of T.Y. Walker TV. And until the next time, peace out and listen. Listen as we share.